Intro! Howdy neighbors. As you notice, I have a VR model. Woohoo! It took me forever to figure it out. Usually you have to go through Unity and do a bunch of stuff with that, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to figure it out how to do it in Blender. So in this tutorial, that's what I am going to be showing you. Now, just a heads up, I have no prior experience to doing VTubers. This was my first one, not very experienced, so there might be some things that I'm missing in this. I don't know how to get my hands to work. I think I need some other software to do it. So this is only going to be focusing on the upper half of the model. And by doing this in Blender, you might be missing out on some better features, or even easier in Unity. I know like the spring bones have a lot more options and a lot more flexibility in Unity, but like I said, I wanted to do everything in Blender because that's the software that I'm more familiar with, and I just didn't want to do it in Unity. Like I said, I will be only focusing on the upper half of the VR model, kind of like a VTuber, Twitch, YouTuber thing. You can do the whole rig in Blender if you want. So with this setup, I will be using Blender 4.1.1. I'm pretty sure you can use other Blender versions, newer or older. I will be using the VRM add-on and the Mouse VRM toolkit. Those are the two add-ons that you will need for this tutorial. Mouse VRM toolkit works with the VRM add-on, so they work side by side. Mouse add-on, it just makes a lot of things faster and easier than doing it with just the VRM add-on. But you can do the whole thing with the VRM add-on if you want. The rig that I will be showing you is very unconventional. I mean, it's not unconventional, I should say, but like, he doesn't have fingers. He doesn't have a mouth. It's kind of basic. So it shows you that you can do kind of like custom models. Like, a lot of my characters are not very conventional and not very human-like. They don't have a mouth or stuff like that. So as you can see with my character, I have the nose as the talking kind of animation. And I just want to show you how you can do that with Blender. Because I know a lot of tutorials are based on like human-like forms. So I think there's a lot of tutorials out there that can help you with that.
Stage 1 rigging.
So before we start rigging, I am not going to show you how to model your character. You can make your character however you want. Like I said, my character is very unconventional. I mean, look at his chest. His chest is a ball, okay? And I don't think I really need to get into too much detail when it comes to modeling your character. When it comes to rigging, we will be using the VRM 0.0. So please keep that in mind. There's 0.0 and 1.1. 0.0 only works with Mouse VRM toolkit add-on. Anyways, we're going to select our character, and then we're going to click create VRM model, and it's going to make this very simple rig. Okay, so this is where I am going to be deleting a bunch of bones because I won't be needing them. I won't be needing the fingers. Delete, 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 delete. I will not be needing shoulders. This dude does not have any shoulders. And eyes. These are the eyes, right? Yep. And it only needs one chest bone, so I'm just going to be using one chest bone. 1 chest and 1 spine. I really don't need toe bones. He's not going to use his toes, so okie dokie. So now we got the basics done. I am going to be adding spring bones to this. I will explain that later, but basically it's like the hair springiness. It's basically the bones that you would use for your hair, like how my hair is like kind of like bouncing a little bit. So I'm going to add those as well. So when it comes to spring bones, you can do a lot with it. You can use them for ears, you can use them for tails or fur or your hair. It's whatever you want to use it for. So for my character, I'm only actually going to use spring bones for these first four hairs, and then leave the rest to just be kind of still. I don't really need all of my hair to be flipping flopping around. And then when it comes to spring bones, you want to have like a root, just so like the wiggleness doesn't go crazy. And then you want to have this root bone parented to the nearest main bone. So the nearest main bone would probably be my head. Then what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to parent this to here. Yeah, so if you press L, it'll select all the bones that are connected. So we'll do that, and then we'll duplicate this. Okay. And then what I usually do is name these. So if you select them, then you go, if you press F3, it'll show up the search bar. And then I do batch rename. You can just type in batch rename. And then we're going to go here and we're going to select the bones and we're going to put set name to new. And we're going to do hair right. Because that's right. Yep. So it's hair right. And batch rename. Same thing. Hair mid right. Mid left. Okay, so I have all of these parented, right? Nope. Select all my roots, parent this to here, keep offset, nice. Okay, so once you have your rig set up, and you can add more later if you want, you basically fill this out. This should be empty. Or maybe it's automatic. So you'd go here and head, neck, chest, spine, hips, and upper arm, all of that. Yep. Foot, yep. Eyes, I will be having eyes. And I don't want the rest. So that is good. There's a bunch of other settings that you can mess with, but I'm not going to be doing that. Then after that, after you have all your bones assigned and all that stuff, you need to weight paint them. I'm not going to be teaching weight painting. There is a lot of meta in weight painting.
Are you tired of spending hours searching for the perfect snare? Do you keep cycling through the same old sounds, hoping something magical will happen? Well, stop right there. Introducing Super Kami Pack 1, the ultimate collection of 50 unique samples, crafted to spark your creativity. And that's not all. Most samples come with MIDI tracks so you can tweak, flip, and customize them however you like. But wait, there's more. These sounds are made for fun, for experimentation, and for making music without overthinking it. Whether you're laying down a groove, flipping a sample, or just messing around, this pack has everything you need to bring your ideas to life. Hurry! This exclusive sample pack is not sold in stores. Grab your copy today! Samples are 100% royalty-free, copyright-free, and free. Use them in your beats, your songs, your mixtapes, your grandma's ringtones. We don't care. Just don't resell them or claim them as your own, because that's weird. Side effects may include instant inspiration, uncontrollable head nodding, and an urge to make fire beats at 3 a.m. No refunds, no regrets, only vibes. I love you. Time is an illusion. Bye now.
Stage 2, blend shapes.
All right, moving on. And that will be blend shapes. So what are blend shapes? Blend shapes let you deform a model into an alternate shape, like a smile, blink, frown, squash, stretch, or any custom pose, and then mix those shapes together during animation. So for the most part, you know, you usually have your bones do all that stuff. But what about like having different, just like the object doing it? So that's what we'll be doing. You've noticed that my nose doesn't actually have a bone, but it's animating. And that's what a blend shape basically is. Same with the blinks. The blinks could be these eye bones, but they're not. So how do we do blend shapes? I'm gonna show you really quick. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna first create a new blend shape. And this is gonna be the base. This is basically, I like to name this neutral. Just like basis, like, I don't know, it just doesn't sound like anything to me. This is basically what it originally looks like. So we're gonna keep that. We're not gonna touch it at all. We're gonna create a new one. And if you go into the VRM add-on and you go to the blend shape proxy, it has a list of all these different blend shapes that we could be doing. These are the mouth ones, ah, e, oo, a, o, and that's going to be like the shape of your mouth. Okay, so since my character does not have a mouth, we are going to be doing blend shapes with the nose and having the nose talk for us. Because animating a mouth and moving a mouth is so complicated that it's not something I really want to do. So I'm going to use the nose. And to do that, we need to create shape keys. So the first one we're going to add is the basis. The basis is basically the neutral position of the shape. This is what you modeled, or this is what you want. This is like, you know, the original. So you can keep it basis, but I like to name it neutral. And then we're gonna go down, we're gonna go to the VRM add-on, and we're gonna go to the VRM blend shape proxy. And this is a list of blend shape presets that they have. And most VTuber software have these in there. And this is what we're going to use. So the ah, e, oo, a, o are the shapes of the mouth. So since I don't have a mouth, I'm just going to do one of these for now. I can do a bunch of other ones. But we're going to add another shape key. And we're going to name it ah or a. And I like to keep it the same name as these so I can just have everything kind of like organized. And then we're going to go to binds. And we're going to add a bind. And the binds is basically what objects you want to have assigned to this blend shape. So the object that we're going to pick is the nose. And the shape key that we're going to pick for this shape key is going to be the A. Let's go into edit mode. Actually, I'm going to add a couple of more vertices. I'm going to do proportional editing, and then I'm going to make this longer, maybe a little bit bigger. So when I adjust this value, this is what it will do. So every time I make the shape ah with my mouth, it will do this, and it will talk like this all the time. And you can see it here too, that it's applied. And if you want to make it binary, that means like it's basically going to jump from 0 to 1. So you could like do a bunch of stuff. I know a lot of people, instead of like modeling a mouth, they have like a 2D image of a mouth, and then you can actually add material values to this and then change the material and have it change the mouth shape and stuff. So a lot of people use binary for that. Okay, so I'm also going to do the blinks because blinking is amazing. At least with my software, I'm on Mac, so I'm using this software called VCam. I noticed that I did the blinks, but I didn't do the left blink and the right blink because I don't feel like I'm ever going to wink, and it didn't work. So I figured out that you had to do the L blink and the R blink and the blink for it to work. Don't know why. Okay, so we're gonna add a new one. We're gonna go to neutral. Oops. Neutral. Okay, and then we're gonna add blink left, blink right, and blink. Okay, so make sure you have the one selected that you want to do. This one is left. So we're gonna just, whoops, actually proportional editing, let's turn that off. And let's do this. Kind of want to make it a little bit flatter. Okay, and then we're gonna go to blink. Oh wait, no, blink left. Add the bind. Eye. Yeah, that's named eyes. Okay, and then we're gonna do blink left. See if it works. Boom. Cool. Now we're gonna go over here. Whoops. Got to select the right one. Edit mode. Boom. Go here, add a bind. Eyes. And then blink right. See if it works. Cool. And then the double blink. Okay, and then we're gonna go add bind, eyes, and blink. Cool. And then like also you can, you know, like I said, you can incorporate different objects into the same one. I didn't do it with my model now, but I was thinking of having the face kind of go change shape as well as when he talks. So let's go to the A, add a neutral, and then let's add another one, A. Whoops, A. And let's change this just a little bit. And then let's add another bind. We're gonna go to head. This is the head, right? Yep. And A. So every time A talks, it will do this. I think it's a little more exaggerated than I would actually want, but you know, this is a good example.
Stage 3, spring bones.
All right, we're gonna add the spring bones. Let's add the spring bones. So one thing that sucks about Blender is you cannot see the spring bones live. So you would have to go into your VTuber software to see how it feels and what it does. But I will show you the workflow. And just know that like when I was making this VTuber model, I was going back and forth with my VTuber software, VCam, to get the right feel and get how I wanted things to do, and especially the shape keys. I had a lot more shape keys, but I kind of kept it simple, at least for now. I will do more in the future, but you know, just know that you're not going to get it right the first time and just make a bunch of different versions. Like with this Sherwood model, I have like 5 different versions of the VR model, and I'm happiest with the version 5. I'll probably do some more with him. I definitely want to get his arms working eventually. I think I need some more software and stuff. But anyways, let's get into spring bones. What are spring bones? Spring bones are bones with built-in physics that automatically add soft and bouncy or delayed motion to parts of the character, like hair or tails, without needing manual animation. Please note that yes, you can do spring bones in Blender, but it's probably a lot easier and you have a lot more options in Unity. But like I said, I wanted to do everything in Blender. It's the program that I'm most familiar with, and I just wanted to keep everything in a single package. I don't really need a lot of options, especially with spring bones. I just wanted my hair to move a little bit. That was good enough for me. Like I said, with spring bones, it's nice to have root bones for each group. So please keep that in mind. So once you're ready to use your spring bones, we're going to go into pose mode, and you can see that there's another drop down here. This is basically where Mao's toolkit add-on comes into play. So what we're going to do is we're going to add all of the root bones, select all of the root bones in pose mode, and then we're going to hit add selected as spring bone group. And then if we go down to spring bones, spring bone groups, it added it as a spring bone group. Now, a spring bone group will basically share the same physics with all of these. So the stiffness, the drag force, the gravity power, all that stuff will influence these bones the same way. So if you had like ears, or if you had like fur on your chest or a tail and you wanted different physics. So with those types of things, if you wanted different physics for different parts, you would add a different spring bone group. So you would select the root bone of that one. Like let's say I wanted this hair strand to behave different than all the other ones. So I would select this one, and then I would create another selected bone group with that. And that's basically it. That should have your spring bones working. I'm going to be adding a collider to the head so the hair doesn't like clip through the head. So let's add selected as collider, and that will create a new collider group. Let's go down to collider groups, and let's adjust the size. And this is too big. We want it about the size of my head. And what this will do is basically when the hair touches the head or this collider group, so when the hair touches this, it won't clip through. It will just kind of bounce off of it. And that'll help kind of make it look more like realistic. So I want it the same shape as my head. So I'm going to kind of make it a little bit more football-y, and that should be good. And that's basically it. Once you're done, what you're going to do is you're going to select the model, and you're going to go to File, Export, and VRM. And if there's things wrong, it will tell you. I did use the same model, and it probably had some weights on it with the previous rig that I made, so that's probably why the neck is duplicated and the chest is duplicated. All of this stuff I think is fine. It's non-triangular, yeah, because you're doing everything in Blender, and you hit OK, and then you go into your software that you're using, your VTuber, and test it out. I'm not going to go into that because there's so many different softwares. You kind of have to figure it out. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I'll try my best to help you, but honestly, I'm not a professional. This is my first VTuber model, and at least it got me to the point where it's working. You know, I got it working. I have attached a bunch of different YouTube videos that I cross-reference and watched. They have a lot more information. They can help you with different setups and stuff like that. So check those out as well. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you next time.